Well, I did not expect to be recording a video tonight, but here we are. It is currently Monday night in the eastern US where I am, and normally we would receive updates on Sunday nights, and we did. We received a Metal Empire update on Sunday night telling us a little bit more about the Metal Empire field, and that's what we expected to see, and we didn't expect to see anything more than that. But tonight, Monday night, out of nowhere, Bandai released the roster for the Digimon Pendulum Z Virus Busters. So obviously I've got to go over that. Normally I like to wait till Mondays to release my videos, but this one will be releasing on a Tuesday. So let's go right into it. Let's take a look at the roster, who made it, were my predictions correct? Spoiler alert, my predictions were way off. I was not even close on anything but the guaranteed ultimates, basically. So yeah, let's get right into this. So up front we see our babies. They are Poyomon and Tokomon. Traditionally these are the babies used for Patamon. And while we don't see Patamon on this chart, we do know that Patamon is on this device as an unlockable when you connect the Digimon Pendulum Z Virus Busters with another color of at least the Wave 2 devices. If you connect it to Metal Empire or to Wind Guardians, you'll be able to unlock Patamon, and you may be able to connect it to the Wave 1 devices to do the same thing, but it's not guaranteed yet, but we do know for a fact it does work with the Wave 2 devices. So Poyomon and Tokomon being here isn't that surprising. I would have preferred to see a baby that hasn't had a chance to shine in a little bit, because of course Poyomon and Tokomon were used on the Digital Monster series, the version 3, back in the late 90s, and it was also of course featured in the Digital Monster version 20th. But I guess it makes sense. We did see Armadimon's and Hawkmon's baby forms get used on these devices as well, so yeah, not too out of left field. So let's go on to the children, where we do see a couple, well, we see one surprise. The other two we knew were coming. We knew Shoutmon would be here, and we knew Guilmon would be here. Shoutmon because that was revealed when the Pendulum Z was revealed, and Guilmon was stealthily revealed by appearing in a sprite on part of the Pendulum count, part of the details about the Pendulum Z. So it wasn't actually said, oh, Guilmon's on these devices, but we saw his sprite, and so we knew. And since he didn't appear in Wind Guardians, of course, nor in Metal Empire, which also, of course, I guess, we knew that he'd be appearing in the Virus Busters, which makes sense. Guilmon previously appeared in Virus Busters on the Digimon Pendulum version 20th. Shoutmon has not appeared on a normal VPET before, but has appeared on the Cross Wars Mini, which is kind of like a normal VPET. It features normal VPET features, but is very different as far as evolution goes, which makes sense. Cross Wars was very different when it came to evolution, but either way, he's appearing on a more traditional virtual pet now. We also see Agumon here, but not normal Agumon. We see the Agumon from Digimon Savers, also known as Agumon 2006. And actually, when this roster first went up, it showed an image of just normal Agumon, and most of us were very confused at that, since normal Agumon appears on the Wave 1 devices, and it would be a little lame if he was to appear on this device too, since he already is on another device here. But no, we get Agumon 2006. Traditionally, his sprite hasn't been any different on the devices that he has appeared on, so I don't know if they will be giving us a new Agumon sprite specifically for Agumon 2006 or not. I would like to see that. His big old nostrils showing up on a pixel art. That would be pretty cool to see them do a specific design just for this Agumon. But yeah, they represent the vaccine for Agumon, data for Shoutmon, and virus for Guilmon. So those are the children on this device. Definitely kind of a Dragon's Roar 2.0 thing going on here, except instead of Vmon, we have Shoutmon, which, you know, I feel like both those protagonists are equally annoying to a lot of people, so I guess it's not a bad trade. Definitely a lot more warm colors going on here. This whole roster is very red, yellow, and orange, quite a bit of it. I guess that makes sense. Nightmare Soldiers is pretty much filled with darker colors. I mean, it's got a good mix in there, but yeah, this one is very noticeably a warm color roster. So let's move on to the adult Digimon that we are featuring here. So up first we have Darkmon, and we already knew about Darkmon appearing here. Angel Digimon that has a big old sword based on Joan of Arc, if Joan of Arc was an angel, I guess. So there we go. Not much more to say about that one. We have Baluchimon, who was one of the new Digimon revealed, and it's kind of a Well, it's apparently based on an extinct form of giant rhinoceros, and yeah, I can see that. He's got some cool wispy wings going on. A lot of people compare him to Bakuman, and I can definitely see why he does have some similarities there, although he is a data, not a vaccine, unlike Bakuman. It is not meant to be a dream-eating taper, like Bakuman is. So, there we go. Pretty good looking guy, but we've got a good look at him already. Up next, we have Shoutmon X3. Now, I am just woefully uninformed when it comes to Cross Wars, so I don't know if this has any significance in any way to anybody. I know there's like a million different Shoutmon out there, because I guess Cross Wars is basically just everyone combine into something and see what happens. And so you can see on this guy, well, you can probably tell better than me, but I see some Ballistamon going on that shoulder over there, and some Dorulamon on the bottom. I guess is the Cross 3 mean he's 3 different Digimon? Tell me in the comments below, because I'm again, woefully uninformed. But there you go. Recently, all the Cross Wars Digimon were given, well, not all of them, but at least most of them were given evolution stages as well as attributes. So this is a adult data now. I think Shoutmon X4 was one of the other ones that was likely to become in this device, but they went with X3. Sure, why not? I don't really have any strong opinions when it comes to Shoutmons, because again, I don't know much there. Then we have Geo Greymon, which of course, if we're featuring Savers Agumon, we're going to be featuring the Savers Agumon line, and it's here in its entirety. So our adult is Geo Greymon, a cool variant on Greymon where he gets a lot spikier and edgier. He's almost an X-antibody form in design when it comes to how spiky he has become, but he is not an X-antibody. He is just a variant, a new Greymon for a new age, that age being again 2006 for Digimon Savers. So cool to see him here. We've had Rise Greymon multiple times, and Rise Greymon specifically appeared in the Virus Busters for the Digimon Pendulum version 20th alongside Guilmon in its line. So it makes sense to see Agumon from Savers being in Virus Busters. And we've also seen this line appear as Yellow in the Digimon card game, with Yellow being mostly the holy element in the card game. The card game is actually very loose on colors, so you can't really hold too much water with that to begin with, but Geo Greymon, Rise, and Shine, they all appeared as Yellow, so it makes sense to see them all here in the Virus Busters device. So up next we have Graumon, again has appeared as a Virus Buster before, so not a big surprise. The rest of his lines here, I don't have a lot to say about that. We have Mimicmon, one of those new Digimon that appeared, and it is confirmed to be an adult, and it is a virus. Interestingly, it's a virus because apparently it has hunted so many virus Digimon that it has taken them into itself, I guess. That's what that cage is there for. And because they're sealed inside of its body, it too has become virus, thanks to all those Digimon that it's taken in. So there you go. Apparently all these random things shooting out of the cage are the arms and horns from other Digimon, basically. Looking at them right now, I can't say for sure who they all belong to. That kind of look like, I don't know, is that Ogremon's horn? Is that Cockatrimon's feathers? Well, Cockatrimon's not a virus, so that wouldn't make sense. I don't know. If you could tell me whose arms and appendages you think these belong to, let me know. And yeah, it's either way, cool design. I like it as a new addition here. It's always good to have more virus busters, because obviously, thanks to the nature of the field, you don't get many viruses in Virus Busters. So that's the adults. Up next we have the Perfects, and the Perfects are odd choices right up front. We have Duramon, and Duramon, as you may remember, is Zubamon's perfect form for the 20th anniversary. They are Legend Arms Digimon, all of Zubamon's line, and none of the rest of the line is here, and it's like, okay, that's fine, but why Duramon, of all things? And why even include him at all? You can include plenty of other Digimon, but you chose to include Duramon, so I don't really know what the kind of reasoning for that is, but the even more interesting thing about that reasoning is that the next Digimon on the perfect list is Raiji Ludomon, who is the other major Legend Arms perfect, who evolves from Ludomon and Tia Ludomon. And they were both featured, Raiji Ludomon and Duramon, they were featured on the Pendulum 20th, and their ultimate forms of Durandamon and Breueludramon were able to Jogress into Ragnalordmon. And I don't know why they're here as perfects because of that case, because it would make sense to have the ultimate forms, since they traditionally Jogress into a big dude with a giant sword and a giant shield. so I would have expected that, but seeing the perfects it just completely threw me off. And, you know, I would have always placed these guys in Metal Empire personally, so if I was to expect them to appear, I'd expect them to appear there, but no, they're here on Virus Busters. They're all alone as their perfect forms, and alright, I guess that's what you want to do. That's fine. Up next we have Shoutmon X5, and I guess it's Shoutmon X3, but with 2 more Digimon thrown in there. That looks like the Sparrowmon and the Starmons and Pikmons. I don't know. I don't know all these guys that well. I can recognize them at least. I'm trying to do better at recognizing them, I promise. So if I get any of those names wrong, I do apologize. But that's what it looks like to me, so I guess that's Shoutmon, but it's 5 Digimon now, and that makes it a perfect form. So, alright. After Shoutmon, we have Rise Greymon returning once again from the Pendulum 20th Virus Busters, and we also saw Rise Greymon X in the Digital Monster X3 Blue, so definitely seeing plenty of this guy. Bandai seems to really like him as an alternate Greymon, so that's cool. A lot of people were wondering if a certain spoiler would appear on the Virus Busters device from Digimon Adventure : and it would appear not, so we get Rise Greymon instead. Next we have Megalogramon, evolves from Graumon. Cool, moving on. That's all I want to say about him. Manticoremon, one of the other new Digimon, and has been confirmed to be a virus. And yeah, pretty cool. He's got all the scorpion tails going on. He's got his hand claws. He's pretty, like, just beastly looking. Very surprising for Virus Busters. And we've already known about this guy, so there's not too much to say about him, but apparently everyone's kind of scared of him. Apparently the Angel Digimon are kind of wary of this guy. You know, he's a virus, whatever, I get it. So you don't want to let your guard down around this guy, even if he is a Virus Buster. He's a good virus, but a virus nonetheless. So there you go. And that's all the perfects, so let's move on to the ultimates. And 4 of the ultimates we absolutely knew who they would be. The other 2, we'll talk about them, but first up is Ancient Greymon. We knew we would have Ancient Greymon because we were told that we would have all 10 of the Ancient Warriors. So if they didn't appear on the other devices, they would have to appear on this one. So we have Ancient Greymon, who is kind of like a bird thing. I actually like Ancient Greymon a lot. Like, compared to other Greymon species, definitely one of the ones I like more. And then we have Ancient Garurumon, who inversely is one of the Garurumon species that I don't like that much. I don't know why. He's just too, I don't know how to describe it. Blocky? Kind of looks like an old school Transformer, like, you know, the kind that couldn't pose very well. And, you know, they transformed, but not very, it wasn't a very convincing transformation. It was just like, okay, well, I mean, that's a vehicle, that's a robot, I get it, but yeah. He's even got like a wheel going on up there, doesn't he? So, kind of is a Transformer, like entirely. Huh. I wonder what he would look like if you were to transform him into vehicle mode. But I don't know, we might never know that. I have no idea if that's ever been explored. So maybe someone's drawn that. I can look that up later. After that we have Godramon, one of the 4 great dragons, which we knew all 4 would be here, so of course he's going to appear here. And I am hoping that he'll be able to evolve from Holy Angemon like he did back in the day. That would be a cool little thing. Because, yes, Holy Angemon is confirmed for this device as well. Doesn't appear on this roster right here, but he's one of the secret unlockables like I was talking about with Patamon. So we have Godramon here making his return. First time on a VPET, not as an X form, so that's cool. And then we have Shine Greymon, which is the ultimate form of Rise Greymon in Digimon Savers. So, cool to see him here. He's kind of been neglected over Rise Greymon a lot, so he finally gets his own chance to... No, I was going to say his own chance to shine, but I promise I was not trying to make a pun, but whatever. Here we are. So, yeah, Shine Greymon. Cool. We have Dukemon to round out that line of Guilmon, and yeah, no big surprise. Whatever. Moving on to Qinglongmon, who we also knew would be appearing. Again, all 4 of the Holy Beasts, and Qinglongmon's actually also one of the 4 Great Dragons as well, so he was doubly confirmed with that. We knew that it would be appearing on this device since it did not appear on any of the other devices. So there you go. There is Qinglongmon, and that is the entirety of this new roster. So I don't know. I'm not thrilled about it. This is The original Virus Busters honestly was a little bit since it repeated a lot of Digimon and it had some cool things like Asuramon being thrown in there, as well as like Igamon. There were some good options in there, but overall it was just like Protagonist the device, and this is still somewhat that. We have Shoutmon, Agumon, and Guilmon all representing protagonists from the show, and the other Digimon included here. There's some questionable choices like Duramon and Raijuludamon being in here, but I think the new Digimon look great. I think Darkmon, she's a good addition at least, and the Ancients, again, they kind of had to be here, so I can't say much about them, but if I was not buying every device, I would probably personally skip this one. It doesn't really appeal to me that much. I'm not a big fan of the protagonist most of the time. In fact, I can't think of one Digimon series where I really liked the main character's Digimon. I always liked random other characters. I liked Gomamon, I liked Armadimon, I liked Terriermon, I liked freaking... What did I like in Sabers? Oh, in Sabers I loved Kamemon, but obviously that was a super side character, but... No, yeah, I don't really like Gaomon or Lalamon that much either, so yeah, we're sticking with Kamemon. I love Kamemon so much. And Kamemon's not on any of these devices. Oh, one day he'll get his due. But yeah, if you're a big fan of the anime, and a lot of people are that are getting into V-Pets, and I understand that. I think this device is definitely more so geared towards the anime fans than the traditional V-Pet fans, and there is nothing wrong with that. And there's still some good stuff for the traditional V-Pet fans too. Again, like the new Digimon especially. But this is definitely more of something for people who aren't too familiar with the weird aspects of V-Pets. Be like, oh, okay, yeah, I recognize Agumon and Geogreymon and Shoutmon and all them. So yeah, no, it makes sense. I think the roster makes sense from that perspective. The original Virus Busters was like that too. It was very much anime the device, the anime the V-Pet. So I can't fault them too much for doing that. But with that, that is the last roster that we have to go over for the Digimon Pendulum Z, probably ever. Now, is there a chance that there can be more Pendulum Zs after this? Very, very slight. I personally do not think so at all, but there's always a small chance at least, but this is the 6th device, and there were only 6 devices in the original Pendulum series. This new Z series was meant to be a big throwback to that original series, and with that being a throwback, I don't expect them to go beyond into additional devices. As much as I would love to see them explore a Dragon's Roar or a Jungle Troopers device, we've seen a lot of dragons in here already, we've seen a lot of bugs and plants in here already, so it seems very clear they don't want to explore additional fields in that way. So this is pretty much it for it. Now there's still unknown Digimon. We know a lot of the unlockables already, but we don't know everything. We still don't know who any of the Super Ultimates are on any of the devices. That has not been explored, and we don't know if there's any other secrets that they are hiding. At this time, there's roughly 45 Digimon on each device, including the unlockables, so it's about the same size as the X3s were, and I don't expect it to get any bigger than that. I expect them to stay at about that number, so don't expect there to be like a huge number of more Digimon than we're already seeing here. This is basically going to be it, but with maybe a few extra surprises. And we should know a few of those surprises next month when the first wave, the Nature Spirits, Deep Savers, and Nightmare Soldiers devices all release, because I'll be able to get into there, I'll be able to open them up and see if there's any Digimon entries that we weren't told about. You'll know as soon as I know, basically, when it comes to that. But for now, this is what we know. We should still expect to see a few Mon memos. In the last Mon memo, they started doing a little Let's Play of a Digimon, basically. Not a video recorded one, but a blog post style Let's Play, where they talked about the little Digimon they were raising. They had a Nature Spirits device that got turned into Tsunorizamon, and that turned into, Babungamon. And that's where they paused for now. So in the next Mon memo, I expect to see that Babungamon evolve, hopefully into Ultimate at least. He'll go to Perfect, I'm sure, but hopefully beyond Perfect into Ultimate as well. And I don't know what else they may tell us before pre-order period for this closes. We already know the functionality of the device. There's not too many other secrets we need to know. The only other big secrets are just what remaining Digimon there are, and they're not going to spoil everything beforehand. Probably, we'll see. They did eventually tell everything that would be on the X3 before the X3 did release. Same with the X2, I believe. So they may tell us every single little thing, they may not. We'll find out. We'll just have to wait and see. For now, that's all I'm going to go over with this. Now, this was originally going to be this upcoming Monday's video, so I am still going to be kind of sticking with that schedule, meaning I will not be making a new video this Monday unless there is something significant to make a video about. Unfortunately, I do not have unlimited time and resources and have to pick carefully when I spend time to edit these videos. But regardless, if you want to stay informed on when I do make videos and when I do post about things like this, please do consider subscribing. In addition to reporting on VPET news such as this, I do different series on how to take care of your VPETs and the history of the VPETs themselves. For those of you wondering about the brief history of Digimon Virtual Pet series, that is still going to be continuing. I am just holding off until there is no more VPET news to cover. I want to make that news a priority, and when there is no news, we will have additional time to explore the history and other aspects of the franchise. So definitely look forward to more of that in the future. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are about this roster in the comments below. Do you like it? Do you love it? Are you a little bit disappointed by it? I'm personally disappointed, but that doesn't mean you have to be. This might be the thing that you were really hoping for, and if that's the case, make sure you pre-order them. You have until the end of November to get a pre-order in for these. Links are in the description below for where you can pre-order from, different proxies and such. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting this device when it comes out, as well as all the other Pendulum Z devices, and when I do, you will definitely be hearing a lot more from me on those and anything else Digimon VPET related as well. I will talk to you next time. Bye.